Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Gluten-Free and Celiac Mixing. I'm Lisa, and I have a very special surprise for you all today. Yesterday, I attended our consultant TM7 training, and I was able to pick up and take home this beauty. So I wanted to show you guys what to expect when your very own TM7 arrives, how the packaging looks, what's inside, and let's set this little baby up and have a look at it together. Now, I know that I've just surprise bombed you with this live, so there might not be many people jumping on, but keep the questions coming. And if you're joining in later, still pop all your questions and comments down because I'll be watching back and I'm excited to hear your thoughts. I'm also pre-warning you that this afternoon I will be doing some live cooking in my TM7. So pop that in your diaries. Let's plan for around 3 p.m. That's Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane time, 3 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. And we are going to do 2 recipes that are exclusive to the TM7. So stay tuned for those. Let's open this baby up. The packaging is very different to the TM6. I actually really prefer it and take it from someone who had to collect their TM7 from the training venue and then carry it approximately 47 kilometres back to the car. It is much easier to carry. So if you're getting it from the post office, it's a little awkward, but much more doable than that big chunky box. And I think we can say the smaller box, we can thank the design of the TM7 because we don't have that big frame around it. It all comes much neater. So shall we go ahead and open it? This is a bit, is it AMSR? There's videos people do with all the noises. Let's have a listen and see if this makes a good AMSR or ASMR. I don't know. You know what I mean. Open, so I guess I don't have to keep going. Ooh! How thoughtful is the packaging? So it's all recycled cardboard. I think that Borawork is working really hard towards minimising waste. It's such a value for us Thermomixers, isn't it? Especially when it comes to kitchen waste, but also our packaging. So I've got that beautiful cardboard. I am also confident that because it's in this big thick cardboard box and then the components are cardboard wrapped, that you should feel very confident, even if your postie is a little rushed, that they should get to you nice and safely. Have we got anybody on, Matt? Oh, we do. Is anybody saying anything? Are the comments showing up?
I think so.
Pop some comments in below, guys. The last time we did this, I said you have to put comments in so we get Matt talking on camera, and nothing showed up because we had a bit of an error with comments. So let's see if they'll pop up today. I'm coming to you live from a beautiful, mild day here in Upper Beak. The sun has been shining. Where are you tuning in from? All right, so we have our manual. Again, Thermomix is forging towards sustainability. So you won't get tons and tons of packaging, instruction manuals, cookbooks in the box. It is all built into the TM7. So I'm guessing this is a little getting started manual. In fact, it says it on there. I could just read it. It says an excerpt from the instruction manual. So your full instructions are actually built into the TM7. So you want to have a read of those. But there's a little excerpt so that you can sit down on the couch with a glass of wine or a coffee and enjoy getting excited about your new baby. We also have a safety warning, I'm guessing. Let me find the English one. Congratulations on your new Thermomix TM7. We're so happy you're amongst the very first people to hold a TM7 in your hands. We know you cannot wait to get started, but there is one tiny thing that we ask for you to do first. Get the latest software on your phone. Establish an internet connection, switch on your TM7, make sure you have the latest software downloaded. So there you go, it's really easy tips to get you started. All the languages are included. Let's get to the fun stuff. Looks like first up we have our Varoma, a brand new redesigned Varoma with a 45% capacity. I believe the total is 6.8 litres. If I'm wrong, I'm happy to retract that statement, but it's 6 point something and I'm pretty sure it's 6.8. So let's take a look at that. Whoa, look at that. Very thoughtful packaging again. Everything looks so safe and secure. So here's our Varoma. Okay, ready? Here's some more ASMR for you. All right, so look at how much bigger this is. So one of the things that makes the Varoma so much bigger is that more square-shaped design. And you'll see that with one of the recipes I'm choosing to cook this afternoon is a beautiful steamed pudding. And it cannot be done in the same design in the TM6 because the large bundt tin will not fit. But it will in this because there is such a big capacity and you don't have those sharp curved edges where things won't fit. So yeah, that's this Varoma dish. The Varoma tray. Oh, and it stacks on really nicely. It doesn't actually go fully inside, it stacks on. Has anybody got any questions or comments there, Matt?
Few hellos.
Oh, hello everybody. Who's here with us?
Cheryl, Wendell.
Hi Jess. Hi Cheryl.
Wendell, Shirley, Karen.
Wendell is Jess. Hi Shirley.
Oh, sorry.
Hi Karen. And I'm glad you're all here. So that's our Varoma. A lot of people, very sadly, they tell me that they don't use their Varoma. So this bigger capacity is the exact reminder you need to use it. I get asked a lot about the Thermomix catering for larger families. Guys, you have an extra 6.8 litres on top where you can be adding in. Did you see that video that posted the other day with all the Chinese broccoli and the bok choy that I steamed on top while I had the broth cooking below and the rice in the middle? That was our friends coming for dinner. Now, our friends supplied the dumplings. They brought them with them, but there were 4 adults, 4 big, growing teenagers and 1 little person, and that fed all of us with leftovers. So yeah. All right, this is, of course, going to be our brand new redesigned jug. That was another one with good sound. Look how cute. I love how they've got all the little images all throughout here. These are your modes, guys. We've got chop mode, peel mode. I'm guessing that's a reverse. There's thickening, there's your scales. Very cool. All right, wow, look at that. So remember I was saying before, we always get people worried about delivery. Once the Thermomix is out of our hands, we are relying on the Toasty to do his very best work. But with all that extra padding, you can feel confident that you will receive your Thermi safe and sound. We'll open the bowl together in a minute. Let's get the base out and then we can get this big box off the bench. Have we got any questions?
Cheryl has a question.
Yes, Cheryl.
Will the white thermo server fit in the TM7 for making yogurt?
I believe it will, my love, but is it Cheryl Gibbs?
Hepburn.
Cheryl Hepburn. Excellent. Cheryl, I believe it will, but let me just grab it and check. And we'll do it, test together. All right, so we've got our white, and I'm 99% sure our bigger one won't fit, but we might as well find out. Let's get this base out first so we can get this giant box off the bench. So this is the heaviest component of the Thermomix, of course, and she is snug. Oh, there we go. All right, let's get that off the bench. There we go. There's our base. All right, we'll open that up. Let's just answer Cheryl's question. Cheryl, if I remember correctly, you're the person who won the Thermomix, aren't you? I always think of you when I think of those competitions. All right, so there's our white, and let's have a look what happens. Yes. Yep. So the white does fit, and I can guarantee you the silver one is not going to fit. So that's the white one in there. And we'll just test to be sure that this one's going to be way too tall. Yeah, so that's not happening. So we don't have enough of a seal there. I'll just grab the bundt tins. That's what I'm actually going to use this afternoon. Let's have a look how they fit. So that's the smaller of the bundt tins, and I think that's the only one that does fit, but let's just double check. Yep, that fits in beautifully. So that's where you would do your steamed rice if you're later cooking. You can do steamed puddings. I've even seen a recipe for steamed bread. And then the bigger one, I don't think is going to fit. Oh, look, I take it back. It does fit.
It's rocking though.
It is moving, but I don't think that would matter, to be honest. And you could pop a little trivet or a little plate underneath, but the lid seals over the top. The lid's perfectly on, so I don't see why not. Perhaps that's actually the one I'm using this afternoon. I guess we'll all find out together when you come back and join me at 3 p.m. All right, let's get this base out. In fact, before I open the base, how about we open our bowl? So she's heavy, so definitely you can feel the difference in the quality, the build, the thickness. You've got your insulated cover, which is going to significantly reduce both sound and loss of heat. So the idea is that she's pretty enough to actually serve straight out of this one on the table. And then of course the bowl will be cool to the touch. And what was the other thing with the insulation? Quieter, of course, it's going to be quieter. Oh, it's so pretty. So one thing I really want to point out, we had a lot of comments in the early days about how hard it was going to be to clean, being that ribbing and the base as well. Everybody thinks these are all holes. They're not. That has got an incredible texture. Can you get a close up? It's not like indent. It's this very, very fine. Can you kind of see that? It's a very fine indent, but just to keep it clean is going to be super easy. For me, I think that the outer shell is going to be a little bit like the base of the TM6 bowl, the TM5 bowl, the TM31. That actual base unit, I don't wash them every time I cook because they don't touch the food. So I think the outer shell will be a bit like that for me. I'm not washing it every time because nothing touches it. Of course, if you make a mess, you can wipe it over or you can wash it if you need. I think I'm going to be hand washing my outer shell though. So let's take off our lid. All right, so the lid comes off. Inside we have got our beautiful new designed simmering basket. So there's a few extra features with the simmering basket. One of them I really love is this little notch here, which the new design spatula is just going to sit in and flip it up because they can be hard to open when they're full of steaming hot food. You still have your little hole here where you can clip and pick it up. But let's take a look inside our new bowl. All right, and let's have a look at the blade release. So for anybody with arthritis or poor shoulders, poor wrist, any kind of mobility issues, this is going to be so much easier. Brand new bowl. We all know how sticky and tough and tight those brand new bowls are to open. Let's see how it goes. Couldn't have been any easier. And look, blades are out. That's how simple. And then the inner bowl will lift out as well. And for me, this whole thing's going straight in the dishwasher. And then to put it back together, super easy. We just sit it back in. I'm assuming that's correct. Pop our blades in. We're learning together, guys. And lock. Yeah, that's as simple as that. So no more flipping the bowl over, holding the blade, locking it. Super easy. All right, let's do the fun stuff. Here's our butterfly, of course. And our lid cap. So completely new design with the lid cap. No longer will you need to stir anything through the lid because you'll be able to do that via open cooking. But if you'd like to use your lid cap to separate your egg whites from your egg yolks, I'm just checking if I'm putting this on right. Yep, I think it just sits there. You can still crack them and the white will go through the yolk one, or if you're doing like lemon, squeezing lemon, it will still catch your pips. So there's our bowl. Let's get our base out. We're almost done. This has got to be the most exciting part though. Now I've got to figure out how to open it. I don't have to think too hard because there's a very handy dandy little thing showing me to pull it. I think it might be a bit like an envelope where you pull that up. Yeah, look at that. Again, such thoughtful packaging. Now, what's next? Oh, I see. Look on the sides. Same again. Lift up and probably over here. Yep, lift up. There we go. How's that? So there is our new design spatula. So as I say, it's got quite a new look about it. One thing that I think you guys will really love is, you know how we did a little blade trick when we've got dough in the bowl and we turn the bowl over and we swivel the blades? Sometimes getting your fingers in around the bottom of the blade can be tricky. But with this one, we have that new design where it actually has that extra thoughtful feature, and it will then twist the blades to get the bread dough out. It also stands up, so if you want to stand it on your bench, you can. It's got the little ridge here so that we can lay it on the bench and keep the food at the edge off the bench. You can see there's a little gap just through here. As I said, you still have your clip to get your basket out from the inside, but you now have what we're calling a fin, this really long, wide scraping action. So you can either scrape down as we usually do, but now it fits so thoughtfully around the edge completely, and because it's nice and flexible, it just goes over those ridges. So you're getting a really, really good scrape action. So I think we're all gonna love our new redesigned spatula. All right, let's get to the fun bit. There she is. So, I'm excited, very excited. Let's get that off the bench. Thank you, honey. Any questions about anybody got any questions they're not sure about?
Sel would like to know, is the capacity of the bowl any bigger than the 5 and the 6?
No, the capacity of the bowl, excellent question. The capacity of the bowl is the same, so your maximum capacity is still 2.2 litres, but you have increased your surface area significantly through the Varoma, 45% bigger. Oh, hang on, I want to leave that on for a minute. Oh, I ruined the fun part of peeling that off.
And Kylie would like to know, is there a glider board coming or is it inbuilt?
Such a good question. I love it, Kylie. You do not need a glider board anymore. The glider board is built into the TM7. So let's take a look at the base together. So what I'm noticing straight away is our sliding, gliding foot and our heavy weighted silicone feet that sort of grip the bench, if you like. So if we pop that down together and try and move, it doesn't really go very far. But if I lift to take the weight off the front feet, then I can slide it really simply around the bench. So glider board is built in. Now I kind of ruined it by grabbing that cover as I was pulling the plastic off, but let's do that together. Here we go. All right, so there is our brand new shiny 10-inch screen. So from memory, the Thermomix, the TM6 is a 6-inch screen. I think the 5 is about 4 inches, the 6 is about 6 inches, this one is 10 inches, baby. Now this is what I was saying earlier. In the initial images, a lot of people felt like these were all holes and there was going to get food in there. They're actually just raised little lips and they're going to be super easy to clean. And even if you get a little bit of muck stuck in there, because my kids are terribly messy cooks, frankly so am I, just use your fingernail if you've got a little bit of dough or something sitting there. I feel like it's going to be really easy to clean. I also really like how the Thermomix and Rawwork symbols are really built in. I think they might be engraved in. Yeah, I feel like they're actually lower inside. So I really like that because on mine, the more I clean them, unfortunately, then they do eventually come off with that deep scrub. You'll notice as well, no real estate is lost to that giant turning button. We have our power button down the bottom here. So if I was to press that, it's not plugged in, but if I press that, that would turn the Thermomix on. So we're not losing all that space and you'll actually see everything coming up on the screen. And I'm sure you are all very excited to see the screen, to see the interface, to see Cookie-Doo and how we're going to navigate things on our giant 10-inch screen. But you'll just have to come back at 3 p.m. to play with me and do some cooking. We will have a good look at it all then. But let's put it together and have a look at how she sits on the bench. All right, so bowl is on. Lid on. So that, my friends, is our brand new TM7, which us consultants are very lucky to have received for our benches this weekend. And this afternoon at 3 p.m. I will be doing 2 cooks. We are going to make 2 recipes exclusive to the TM7. The first one is called chicken and mushroom rice. If you know me, you know that I don't like mushrooms. So I'm actually swapping out the mushrooms for onion because there was no onion in there. So I thought chicken and onion rice would be lovely. So we're going to do that, and that is going to show us some high heat. It is going to show us some open cooking. So we're going to have the lid off and we're actually going to be cooking. And then the second recipe I'm making, I can't quite remember the name, but I think it's called steamed chocolate pudding. And that takes advantage of our brand new redesigned Varoma with a much greater capacity for a full-size dessert treat. So I am Lisa from Gluten Free and Celiac Mixing. Thank you for joining me as we unveil our brand new TM7, and as much fun as we're going to have cooking in it this afternoon, I must remind you all, there are still, 8 or 9 days left of TM6 sales in Australia until they are gone forever. Our TM6 is on run out. Best value ever, including over $1,000 of bonus extras. You do not want to miss out. If you have a 31 or a 5, we also have an incredible upgrade offer. Now is your chance to get the TM6 on your bench, saving $680 off the purchase price and a gift pack of over $900 worth of goodies. So please reach out. Time is running out. Us consultants have got big goals that we're trying to achieve to help our teams, and I would love to support anyone interested in trading up from an older model, purchasing their first TM6, or indeed pre-ordering the TM7, which is going to be dispatched starting in the next few weeks in order of purchase. So the quicker you order, the quicker you will get it. Thank you for joining me. I will see you this afternoon at 3 p.m. I am Lisa from Gluten Free and Celiac Mixing, and a special thank you to cameraman Matt. Have a fabulous day. I'll see you all this afternoon. Bye.